G'day, Trooper Cody with a video, a result of a previous video. They're the videos we like best, the ones that are a result of a previous video. So the first thing I've got to say is it is an absolute scorcher today, and I'm wearing this tunic, so yes, I'm a complete idiot, but love this horse, so he's got none of his gear on. Haven't put a saddle or anything on the lad because it's just too damn hot and damn windy with it too. Let's hope this works. So what is this video? The result of a previous one is the Australian flag and the New Zealand flag and why they are so similar. It was a result of me doing a video on the Union Jack. Australia, originally halfway around the planet, not seen as being the greatest place in the world to move to, and so let's send all our prisoners there, all our convicts, all the people that have, can you see that? It's got very good flexibility. The ones I love is when he lifts up his back leg and scratches himself behind the ear. Never been able to get that on video, but maybe one day, eh mate? So what happened is, Australia's seen as a bit of a dirty, dusty, dry, not the best place. Let's send everyone there that pinches a loaf of bread because their 12 children are starving. And so what happens is the first governor there says this area is so huge, we're going to make the whole thing the colony of New South Wales, and of course that included New Zealand. So yes, New Zealand was originally part of Australia. Bit of a difficulty. It's a fair way away across the Tasman Sea in a time of sailing boats. How do we enforce English law in New Zealand under Australian law? That proved to be very difficult. And then what happened is an English officer decides that he doesn't like the way some other Europeans are living in New Zealand. So strange as it may be, could this be possible? There's an armed uprising. We humans, do we just do this all the time? If you're not happy in the car club you're in, then break away from that car club and form another one. Oh dear. It's so funny in Adelaide. No, I'm not going to get sidetracked. So anyway, there is a bit of a massacre. People get killed. And the person that started all this English officer that starts all this, yes, he's hungry. No, he's not. So the person that starts all this has got to be prosecuted, and several attempts are made to prosecute him for this uprising and these murders. And they can't do it. That is when the English Parliament finally decides, 1841 from memory, that New Zealand has to be a standalone country of its own, with its own laws and its own courts. So, at that point, New Zealand breaks away, becomes its own country, and so it decides to have its own flag. And what they decide with that flag is they want to acknowledge the mother country, so they're going to make a flag that has the Union Jack in the corner of it. Then they want the flag to be blue, a lovely blue flag to show the blue sky and the blue Pacific, the blue oceans. But on there too, what they're going to show is something that the people in England and Europe have never seen. They've never looked up on a clear sky and seen the Southern Cross. So they decide to put the 4 stars of the Southern Cross on their blue flag with the Union Jack in the corner. They decide to make the 4 beautiful stars of the Southern Cross red on blue, with a little white border around each of the 4 stars. So that is how we get the New Zealand flag. At the time, what's Australia doing? Don't tell most Australians, because they'll have a pink fit, pretend Australians stop listening for a while, because at that time, this was the Australian flag. We went off to the Boer War in 1899, and this was the Australian flag. You tell people that in Australia and they'll lynch you to the nearest tree. So anyway, that was the Australian flag. As you can see, 50 or 60 years go past, and then in 1901, Australia becomes its own country, a federation where all the states finally stop bickering and arguing and backstabbing. Now hang on, that's still going on, but anyway, they decide they're going to formalise this federation, and that's what happens in 1901. Oh dear, we better have a flag. So what they decide is, we better not copy the New Zealanders too much, so we will design a flag that's red all over, stands out, Union Jack in the corner, but the Southern Cross is so prominent in the Australian sky. You look up clear night, there's the Southern Cross. We're going to also include it, but we won't copy the New Zealanders. We'll make our stars white, not red. Also, we've got 6 states, so we'll make sure all our stars have 6 points, a point for each of the 6 states. And also, to be a little different, we want to acknowledge that we're proudly part of the British Commonwealth, and so under the Union Jack there'll be another big star. On top of the 4 of the Southern Cross there'll be another big one, which is the Commonwealth Star. Now, as you've seen in previous videos, we go off to World War I, 1480, with primarily still using the Union Jack. If we've got an Australian flag, the majority of it is red, and then Harold Holt, Lyndon B. Johnson, Reds under the bed, communism, Vietnam, Korea. We can't have this blatantly red flag. It has to be changed to blue. When it's changed to blue, it has a name. Look it up for yourselves, because it's all, I can't be bothered talking about 57 different shades of blue. The model makers that might watch this, they might be prepared to say, yes, there's this blue and that blue and this blue. And suffice it to say, the Australian flag and the New Zealand flag look alike, but it is a different colour blue. We have an extra star. Their Southern Cross is red. Hope that explains it all. Why am I waving this? It's an upcoming video, same with the uniform. Cheers, thanks for watching. You make sure you subscribe, click like, share it, make a comment, and say thanks for doing that in the blazing sun and heat. Cheers, cobbers.